The countdown to the Galaxy S26 lineup has officially begun, and expectations around the Ultra model are higher than ever. Samsung's top-tier flagship has built a reputation for pushing boundaries each year, especially in display technology. This time, the conversation is dominated by one major topic. Will the Galaxy S26 Ultra's screen actually deliver the breakthrough everyone is expecting? At first glance, the situation sounds a little disappointing, because early reports suggest that the Galaxy S26 Ultra's display might not excel in the ways fans were hoping. But before jumping to conclusions, there's an important silver lining that explains Samsung's strategy, and it might actually benefit users more than it seems. To set the stage, Samsung is rumored to introduce a brand new privacy feature called a privacy display. Powered by Samsung's Flex Magic Pixel technology, this feature is designed to limit viewing angles so people nearby can't peek at sensitive content. It's a built-in privacy shield designed directly into the display. In a world filled with crowded buses, cafes, and office spaces, this could become a meaningful upgrade that solves a real problem. While it isn't flashy in terms of raw visuals, it's a smart feature that improves usability in public settings. However, the conversation gets more complicated when looking at Samsung's display technology itself. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is set to use the M14 OLED material, which is the latest generation of Samsung's own high-end panel technology. This is a step up from the M13 material used in the Galaxy S25 Ultra. On paper, M14 sounds impressive. It uses more deuterium across red, green, and blue host layers, which leads to greater material stability. That means better power efficiency, higher potential brightness, and a longer lifespan. Reports estimate a 20–30% improvement in efficiency compared to M13. With numbers like that, expectations naturally rise. People want a flagship screen to be bright, large, durable, resistant to reflections, rich in color, and efficient at the same time. It's not unreasonable. Premium phones cost premium money. Users want everything. So, with such advanced material, the assumption would be that Samsung is preparing to deliver one of the brightest, most color-accurate screens on the market. But according to a trusted industry insider, Ice Universe, that isn't what's happening. Instead of using M14 to push performance to its limits, Samsung is rumored to use the new technology primarily for battery efficiency. The claim is that Samsung will intentionally limit peak brightness, color depth, and high-frequency dimming to conserve power. More specifically, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to stay capped at 600 nits of brightness, work with 8-bit color, and use lower-frequency PWM. These are not terrible numbers, but they sit noticeably below what the new material is capable of. This is where the comparison with other brands becomes interesting. Ice Universe points to the iQOO15, another smartphone expected to use the M14 panel. But unlike Samsung, iQOO is rumored to push the technology aggressively, unlocking its full potential with higher brightness and wider color coverage. In that scenario, Samsung risks looking like a company with superior technology but less willingness to unleash it. That raises an important question: why would Samsung choose not to fully optimize its own premium panel? The answer lies in Samsung's overall approach to the S26 Ultra. Specifically, battery life. Samsung appears to be prioritizing endurance over raw visual performance. Instead of increasing battery capacity beyond 5000 mAh, Samsung is using display efficiency to stretch battery life while keeping the device slim. High brightness and extended color processing consume large amounts of energy. So, capping performance allows Samsung to reduce power draw, improve thermal stability, and deliver longer screen on time without needing a physically larger battery. In other words, Samsung isn't falling short because the technology is lacking. The company is making a conscious trade-off: use advanced material to boost efficiency, not performance. This strategy highlights the contrast between brands. Samsung plays the long-term game with endurance and reliability as top priorities. Other companies focus on eye-catching specs at the cost of higher power consumption. Both strategies have valid reasoning behind them, but they target different types of customers. For Samsung, prioritizing efficiency makes sense if the goal is to deliver a powerful flagship that performs consistently throughout the day. Brightness spikes, wide color depth, and high-frequency dimming all look great in spec sheets, but they drain power rapidly. A slightly dimmer display that lasts longer might actually be more satisfying for everyday use. Consumers often overlook battery life as a feature, yet it is one of the most critical aspects of a smartphone experience. A device that lasts comfortably from morning to night is more valuable than one that briefly delivers extreme performance numbers but demands a charger by evening. Furthermore, using M14 primarily for efficiency could extend panel lifespan, reducing burn-in risk and keeping color accuracy more stable over time. That's a behind the scenes advantage that users don't notice immediately, but it shapes long-term satisfaction. So, is the Galaxy S26 Ultra's display going to be a disappointment? That depends on expectations. Anyone hoping for industry-leading brightness or massive color upgrades may feel underwhelmed, especially when other brands flaunt higher numbers. But users who care about battery reliability, screen longevity, and practicality may end up appreciating Samsung's direction more than they expect. There's also the psychological factor. The Ultra line has built such a strong reputation for visual excellence that anything less than a major leap feels like stagnation. Even if the display is objectively better, expectations may overshadow the actual experience. Interestingly, the rumored limitations are not due to technological barriers. They are tactical choices. Samsung is using a powerful new display material but strategically dialing it back to support longevity. That paints a very different narrative than a simple failure to innovate. At the end of the day, the Galaxy S26 Ultra seems to represent a shift in priorities. Instead of chasing maximum visual output, Samsung is designing a smarter screen that conserves energy, maintains durability, and supports advanced features like privacy protection. Not the kind of upgrade that dominates charts, but one that could make everyday use more enjoyable. So yes, the Galaxy S26 Ultra might not blow minds with next-level display performance. But if the trade-off results in longer battery life, improved stability, and smarter user-focused features, the decision may turn out to be a sensible one. In a world where many smartphones chase numbers, Samsung appears to be chasing balance. Whether users embrace that philosophy or demand more flashy upgrades will become clear once the S26 Ultra finally lands in January.